Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Jim Masters Show Live. It's so good to see all your smiley faces. How's everybody doing today? I'm your host, Jim Masters, beaming out all around the globe with lots of levity, lots of great entertainment, poignant conversations, and all the other cool things we've been doing for almost 2 years now, as of the time of this show, over 655. I can't believe I'm saying that. Episodes, all available for you on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Thanks for joining us. Busy day for me. We had 2 TV shoots, 3 radio shows, 4 scripts to write, and a partridge in a pear tree. And that's a light day. Then we're headed to Boston for a big day of 2 television shoots tomorrow. Then we have a big family gathering over the weekend. I hope your day is going well, and I hope you're smiling. And if you're not, you shall be entertained, as we always do on our entertainment lifestyle variety talk show series we call the Jim Masters Show Live. We're here in the New York area in the United States, for those of you watching for the first time, along the southern New England coast between New York and Boston. Our audience, global, United States, Canada, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, New Zealand, and points beyond. I think we even heard a little bit from Venus and Mars every once in a while. If this is your first time here, we welcome you. We always have a good time on our show, poignant conversations, great entertainment, and all the rest. And we have a spectacular guest. If this is your first time watching, then it's the first time you're seeing him on the show. If this is the second time you're watching, or maybe the 655th time you're watching, then you know Jrobertspencer is joining us. Yes, of course, he starred in Jersey Boys. He's currently, of course, still in the Midtown Men, which they're terrific. Actor, singer, musician, producer, all of the above, singer, songwriter. He's going to perform live for us as well. Yep, he's all set up. We just did a nice sound check. He's in his studio in Oregon City, Oregon, where he makes his home base. And this is his return visit to the show. I was chatting with him, say about 2 weeks ago, and I said, hey, you want to come back on, update us, but also, talk about some cool things. And I know there's a lot of Jersey Boys fans here, a lot of the Midtown Men fans here as well, and just fans of our show, fans of J. Robert. And, we also had Michael Longoria on the show, who also worked in the Jersey Boys with J. Robert, and that was a while ago. If you didn't see that episode, check it out. It's right here on our YouTube channel. Matter of fact, we would absolutely love it and encourage you, show some JMS levity, subscribe to the YouTube channel. That gets you in as a JMS levity family member. There's no cost to subscribe. You just hit that red button you saw there. Simple as that. And it allows you to have access to a lot of cool things. You get, if you click the notification bell, that little bell icon, you also get exclusive notifications about all of our episodes, special things that are happening here at the Jim Masters Show, and lots more. We just posted in our Facebook page, the Jim Masters Show Levity Hall, some really cool details about our fabulous cruise, the Levity cruise that we're doing to Bermuda next year, May of 2023. Check that out. We'll tell you about that in an upcoming episode for those watching our show. You can also see it in our Facebook group for our show too, and it's very exciting. JMS Levity Cruise is something we've been working on for a long time, and with our official travel agency, Quinn Panzer Travel, they have designed a really fantastic trip for all of us. So we're excited about that. How's everybody doing today? Again, I know I asked that. I'm so excited because we love having an opportunity to engage with you. We're very engaging here and interactive on our show. We always like to have a good time with all of you. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And if this is your first visit, we certainly hope it is not your last visit. Spread the word about our entertainment lifestyle variety talk show series. Share these YouTube episode links on your social media. Tell everybody about what we're doing. It's so different. We don't call this we don't call it an interview show. We call it an entertainment lifestyle variety talk show series. First time here, welcome. So nice to see you guys here. All right, so we're going to have J. Robert here on the show in just a second. He's all spiced up. He's ready to go. He's been rehearsing. Of course, he's best known as Broadway's original Nick Massey in the Tony Award and Grammy Award-winning show Jersey Boys, with additional credits beyond as an independent film director, producer, writer, and singer. He followed his stint on Jersey Boys as the original Dan Goodman in the critically acclaimed and Pulitzer Prize-winning Broadway musical Next to Normal. His performance earned him the Helen Hayes Award nomination and Tony Award nomination for Best Performance by a Leading Actor in a Musical. The Midtown Men, of course, if you've seen the PBS special, The Midtown Men, the original, I was actually there when they were filming one of the specials at the NJPAC, the New Jersey Performing Arts Center. It was really cool because that was a presentation, I believe, of NJTV. You know, since 2011, J. Robert has performed in over 700 concerts all over the world with the singing group, the Midtown Men, 4 original stars from Broadway's Jersey Boys. And the group has toured all over the United States, internationally in Italy, Canada, Mexico City, and Beijing. The Midtown Men have produced and recorded several CDs, including a Christmas single that was written and produced by Stevie Van Zandt. And the group recently filmed a concert and documentary for the PBS titled The Midtown Men Live in Concert. They did that as well. Off stage, J. Robert released his solo single, Waiting on Christmas, which was really fantastic, a modern classic take, taking cues from the likes of Bing Crosby and Nat King Cole. His talents have also received acclaim on screen and behind the screen. He was nominated for a Midwest Emmy Award for Best On-Camera Performance for a Leading Actor for work on his Sony and PBS concert production of Handel's Messiah, Rocks with Keith Lockhart, and the Boston Pops. As a voiceover artist, he has performed voices for 2 Japanese animated features, Nightmare Campus, and voiced the role, a great role, the critically acclaimed and award-winning Grave of the Fireflies. We're going to talk about that and so much more. He's really incredible. He's also a 2009 recipient of an honorary doctorate of fine arts from Shenandoah University. Gang, that's just the short list. Yeah, that's just the short list of the amazing things that this incredible talent has done and continues to do in the arts and the entertainment world. And we're so honored to have him back. It's so cool to have him back as well. I know you guys are all stoked and excited. So why don't we welcome him back to the show, coming to us live from the left coast. We're on the East Coast. He's on the other coast. Beautiful Oregon. Here we go. Here he comes. He's all excited. You ready, gang? 3, 2, 1. And there he is.
Hey.
Hey.
Gosh, I've done a lot.
You have done a lot in your short 29 years.
Oh, thank you. I was telling you during sound check to all the people that are watching, I was saying that I am much more silver this time on your show.
Much more silver. It looks great.
Yeah. Thank you. It's definitely a lot more silver. I ran into the lovely Broadway actress Karen Ziemba a couple of weeks back, and I hadn't seen her so long. She was like, "Bobby, I'm loving this silver fox." I was like, "Oh, it's silver." I was like, "Thank you." Yes, Jim, you still have your beautiful brown locks.
It's a lot longer than it was last time too. Yeah,
Maybe.
we did a pandemic growth, and then at one point it got down to here, which was the longest I ever had it. And so we've coiffed it a little bit, and I said, "This is good. I like it just like this." Think you passed the test, my friend?
I think actually it looks really good on you. Yeah.
Appreciate that. Well, that's all we needed to hear. Thanks for joining us.
Good night, everybody.
His hair is nice. My hair is nice. I'm good. Are you good? So how have you been? Some crazy things have happened in our world since we chatted last, which we all know about and everything. But how have you been? What are some of the cool things, maybe teachable moments that you've learned about you as you sort of, take a look in the mirror and say, hey, what do I want to do going forward? What are some of the cool things that I want to embark on, and maybe inspirations I'd love to be a part of in my life? J. Robert, or for these purposes, want me to call you Bobby, right?
Yeah. Yes,
all right, Bobby.
I just want to, it's only just kind of starting over again in a lot of ways. It was a lot of holding off, and I spent a lot of time, like so many Americans, waiting on the unemployment line for not just a couple hours, but 6-7 hours.
Yes.
And it took me 25 months to get all my unemployment. It was
25 months.
25 months. Can you imagine calling almost every single day?
And nobody answering the phone.
And then when you do get through after 7 hours, there's all that other stuff that you have to deal with. And then you sometimes hear, oh, no, you need to talk to this person in this department. So finally, now that is over, I can say that during that process, I was able to work, which is great creatively. Before COVID hit, I did a horror movie, which was incredible to do. I auditioned in December of 2019. I was in New York promoting my Christmas song, "Waiting on Christmas," and randomly while I was there, I got a call, like, "Hey, you need to go in tomorrow for an audition." I was like, "What?" Off the fly, ended up getting it. I got notified 2 months
Cool.
later after, all this stuff was going down. And we were just looking at the papers going, this is just at the start of it. I was like, something's going on because this was February. I was like, this is something, I'm reading stuff and something's weird. Well, when we get to Cleveland, Mississippi to shoot the horror film, it's called Sun. You guys should check it out. If there's any horror buffs out there. It's I play this doctor, so I'm in a good chunk of the top of the film and everything. But it was fantastic to work with Andy Matichak. She's a lovely lady and a great actress as well. But when I got home, that's when COVID hit.
Mm.
And then that's when, everything. And so about, 7 months into this mayhem, I got cast in a little student 25-minute student film, which was dealing with a character named General Canby in the Civil War. And it was after the Civil War. And I love the Civil War. I was born on Abraham Lincoln's birthday, so I have a real kind of
Get a real
already
intimate connection. Yeah.
connection with that. And I just think, it's one of those, battles in our country that there's always something new you find out about it. It's just because it was so, mind-blowingly long and devastating with so many lives. So blah, blah, blah. But, I want to get to the point of all this. Sorry. But it was a character named General Canby. I trusted the crew. What a great group of young artists at this fabulous film school. And why not? I want to create art, and I loved the people that I met. And I actually wrote. This is a good story. It sounds a little long, but it's good. It's called "This Is Their Land," and it's this true story of General Canby who went to the Klamath Falls to remove Captain Jack from the Modoc tribe because General Grant ordered him to go down there. And General Canby, was murdered by Captain Jack of the Modoc tribe. So these young students put this together. Now there's an executive producer of it who, while we were shooting it, he got cast in the television show Ghosts, the CBS show.
Mm-hmm.
And he plays the Native American ghost on that show. His name's Roman. I have to look his name up because I always say it incorrectly because it's so beautiful, his last name. I apologize. I got to do this, everyone. Hold on. Roman Zaragoza. Okay.
Very nice. Wow. Beautifully
Now,
said.
I hope I did it right. So this story is great, though. Okay. Now he is now, in his 20s. This is his project. I wrote to them personally, said, hey, I live in the area. I'm Tony nominated actor. You do what you can. And I was like, I'd love the opportunity to audition for y'all. The reason I was so intrigued by This Is Their Land is because they needed $15,000 to raise, and they raised 30 grand. And
Wow.
I know what it's like to raise money for independent films. It's a challenge, and it is very taxing on your world. I mean, it takes your time, it takes your emails, up the yin yang. So I was already on board with them, like, good for them, man. That's awesome. Good for them.
Right.
I auditioned. I got it. Now I'm there. I drive down. We're shooting for 5 days out in this amazing location. It looks like they really went to town on the costumes, on the horses, on the details. I was very impressed. And so Roman's dad is in his, I don't know how old he is. He's a father. So he's got to be at this point, maybe he's in his 60s. He's a Native American as well. And he picks me up on my first day of the shoot, and he's driving, and I've got my mask on because it was the height of masks, and he has his. And he goes, as he's driving, he goes, heard you were on Broadway. And I go, yeah, I did some Broadway. And he goes, what'd you do? And I said, oh, Jersey Boys. And next to him, he goes, I did Broadway. I was like, you did? What'd you do? And he said, I was Sitting Bull in the Bernadette Peters Annie Get Your Gun. And I said, oh my gosh, I've met you. My wife was in that show. My wife worked with you. He's like, you're kidding. He's like, who's your wife? I said, Jenny Lynn Suckling. And he goes, I remember her. So we get to the set, and I'm like, Roman, you're not going to believe this. It's like, I met your dad back in the day. And this guy who's now I'm talking to, who's the executive producer, he was a child when I met him. He was 3 years old backstage. And I just couldn't believe that moment. I just thought that was just beyond God.
Incredible,
and magic.
huh?
It's so incredible. And I just got news yesterday that it's been selected for the festival already, and I know there's going to be more to come. So I'm really proud of them, and I'm proud of the work that we did. I haven't seen it yet, but just watching the cinematography and being involved with as many things as I have, whether I'm behind or in front, they absolutely knew what they were doing. Yeah.
Mm.
So I'm excited about that.
Congratulations
So
on all that. That's very cool, huh?
yeah, I got to do
Wow.
that, which was nice in the midst of all this waiting around. But the boys and I, the Midtown men, we, our business was gone. And then it wasn't until December. It's such glary. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to get, if you guys can go on Spotify or any kind of digital download, you look up the Midtown Men. This is one of our live shows. But the boys and I ended up having a wonderful Christmas season. It was great to be back out on the road. There it is. And the audiences were still masked, but you could see the smiles underneath them. You just could. And I think we did about 19 shows. We were really fortunate. Everybody was just eager for Christmas. It was Christmas, which is always so fun to play Christmas music.
Oh,
And
yeah.
yeah, so from the end of November until the end of December, we were spreading the Christmas cheer. It was a lot of fun.
For those watching for the first time, maybe we can work in reverse. How did the Midtown Men come together? Because I was there when you guys were filming the
That,
special in New Jersey at the NJPAC,
yeah,
which was exciting for PBS because my affiliation with public television all these years, I got invited to go, and there was the
yeah.
beautiful. It was part of their gala, and then
Hmm.
you guys also were there as part of their entertainment, and it got filmed, and it
Yeah.
was really fantastic. Of course, Jersey Boys first, but the Midtown Men, how did that all come together? Whose initial idea was that?
We were on Broadway, as you said. We're doing Frankie Valli, 4 seasons on Broadway. It's at the height of the success of the Hamilton before Hamilton. And one of our investors of the show, and he happens to be very, very good friends with Bob Gaudio and Frankie Valli, said, hey, hi, Maureen. Hi there. Thank you. And he asked us if we would do a special concert for his employees. He's a very, very wonderful, generous CEO type individual, right?
Yeah.
Very good friend too. And so it was in Atlantic City. It's actually a great story. So it's in Atlantic City, and we're on Broadway, and he wants us to perform on a Saturday, and we have 2 shows on Saturday on Broadway, right? So it's like a 10:30 show in Atlantic City, but he's paying us money, and we're like, you know what? It'd be nice to have a little extra money, yada yada. But contractually, can't sing any Frankie songs. Well,
Right.
no big deal. We put together, all he wanted was 30 minutes of something. We put together 30 minutes of 60s music that we liked, other than Frankie. So it was the Beach Boys. It was the Jackson 5. It was, what else in the day? It was, oh my gosh, we did Chuck Berry. We did Herman's Hermits.
Wow.
Yeah, so we did this 30-minute thing in Atlantic City. We get done. He has a helicopter waiting for us to fly us back to make the matinee in New York. So we are literally flying from Atlantic City from our first gig as just, the guys, the guys. Here they are, the guys from Jersey. And we are flying, and all I can remember about the flight is like I had a lot of Mountain Dew, and I really had to go to the bathroom. And I was
Uh-oh.
like, "We got to land this helicopter." So we land. There's a limo waiting for us, and we're looking at the clock, and it's like 1:23 p.m. It's almost 1:30, which is half hour to showtime, and the 4 leads aren't there yet.
Oh,
So we get in the limo, and they're driving us down the Henry Hudson, and we pull up right at 1:30, and we open up the stage door, and we're running in, and we hear them go, "Ladies and gentlemen, this is your half-hour call. Half hour for places, half hour for places. Christian, Bobby, Daniel, Michael, where are you?" And we're like, we're here. We're running up the stairs. Where have you been? And then we were like, hey, because we didn't tell anybody ahead of time that we were doing this gig. You're like, everybody would have freaked out ahead of time. So we were like,
Mhm.
we're doing this, but we made it. So yes, that was the first moment
Wow.
that we did it. And then then we were just asked to do more of those and a couple more of those. And again, we were just doing what I just said. We weren't doing any Frankie because we were still in the show. We were doing every other 50s or 60s artist there was.
Mm. So
Yes.
everybody said, we got to do this, and it gelled,
Yeah.
right? It really gelled.
It was a couple years after when I left Jersey Boys and I was doing Next to Normal that the guys called me up and they wanted to meet. And they said, you know what, we've actually been touring out there, but we feel like we need, you're the fourth original guy in the show. It would make sense, and I'm like, yeah, as long as it's
Mm.
not a wedding band. And it's great. In fact, I need to clarify at the top when you were given our intro, We've actually at this point done over 1,000 concerts in
Is there
10
now
years.
1,000?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, really.
That is
Yeah.
really, really cool.
And I can
1,000.
remember 3 of them I was sick. I was sick in the middle of. It never, it very rarely happens. Like sick, like not hurling,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
sick, like it was like the kind of flu, laryngitis season. And only 3 times I can remember on the road that
Wow.
kind of happened. And
Now you've got this beautiful blue mug there, and you've got a really
oh,
cool potion. Speaking of, it's a good segue into the potion. I said, "Is that some of the moonshine you made down in the basement an hour ago?" And you said, "Well, actually,
it
it's
is.
something even better."
Well, if anyone's interested, it's a wonderful drink. It's made of turmeric. Just go to your grocery store, go and get your powdered herbs and everything. So get some turmeric, get some cinnamon, get some ginger, and a dash of black pepper. And then you heat up some water like you would for your tea. Put, I don't know, like a half teaspoon or how much you want that powder in your cup. And then I put a little maple syrup, a little honey, and then oat milk, and then hot water. And man, it's like a dessert, and it's great for you. I
Yeah.
have used it a lot more in the last couple of weeks. I really need to do it more, but I have been doing it, but I really need to make it more of a steady thing. I actually did it on the road a lot when we were traveling on the holiday, and
Yeah.
it just made a difference. It just made a
Yeah.
difference, and it tastes so good, and it's great for you, everybody. So give it a try.
How did it come about that you got involved initially, for anybody watching who always has never heard this story, with Jersey Boys? I mean, epic, obviously, and people still continue to talk about and admire and revel in the whole Jersey Boys experience, all the
Yeah,
variations of it, interpretations of it.
yeah.
They just have a real affinity for it. How did you end up getting involved in that?
Auditioning, being asked to audition. I remember I was in. I had been in LA since 2002, and around 2004, I remember, because I was out there doing the groundlings. I was out there shooting independent films with my friends. We were writing stuff. We're just creative like a monster out there. But I wasn't employed. I wasn't making money except
Mm,
waiting tables and walking dogs on the beach at that time.
yeah.
And I was just missing my wife in New York. So at around 2004, I packed up and I went back to New York. Now I get to New York and it's February, and I tell my wife, listen, please, she's in the producers on Broadway. She's got a couple things going on. She's making money. And I said, would you please just, I can't wait tables. Let me focus on auditioning. I'll get something come April. And so what happened was in April, I got 2 shows and they both took me back to California. I just got back. Now I'm going back. And the first show was at the Old Globe Theater. And I did a show called Lucky Duck, a musical called Lucky Duck that Henry Krieger, who wrote Dreamgirls, he and Bill Russell, who wrote Sideshow, which was my first Broadway show. Let's see if I can show this. I don't know if you can see that. That was a present we got. But anyway, yes, Sideshow.
That's really cool. Very
And then
nice.
I know it's nice memorabilia over the years. And uh and so uh so yeah, so I came back and I got the Old Globe and they wrote Lucky Duck. When that closed, I was leaving to do a new show in La Jolla called Jersey Boys. Now, how I got it was I was asked to audition. When my agent at the time said it's about Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, I said I don't want to do another Mamma Mia. And at the time, jukebox musicals were getting an awful. They were just being cremated in the reviews, and none of them were really all that great. Mamma Mia is the exception, obviously. It's lasted so long, and it is a great show. But at the time, I was like, I don't want to do that. And she said, no, this is not like that. This is like, like VH1 Behind the Music meets The Sopranos. And when I went through the script and I was going through the list of songs as a kid, I was like, whoa, I forgot about that song. Oh, I remember that song. Oh, I love that song. Oh, I didn't know they wrote that song. So that's what happened. And then I went into the audition and I practiced the role of Tommy DeVito because that's what they wanted to read me for. So I'm watching a lot of Sopranos. I have 2 weeks to work on all these monologues, and I go in for Tommy. And I did something funny at that audition with Tommy, and that's when they said, you know what, let's read you for Nick. And they gave me Nick. I went out a couple minutes, and I looked at it, and it just clicked. I was like, oh, man, this is my guy. And
They call that a Nick click.
it was a Nick click. And I got the gig, and I remember I went, I sang when I got there, I had spent so long working on the, the Jersey accent and the lines and all this stuff, no, I hadn't thought about what I'm going to sing. And so I literally pulled out my guitar. I was like, what am I going to sing? What am I going to sing? So I was like, oh yeah. I went, when the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. Oops. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. And just as long as you stand by me. And I was like, I like it because it's easy. It's G, E, C, D. Oh, I know those chords. So darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Stand by me. Stand by me. And then I left the room and I called my wife and I go, I'm coming back to New York with the lead in a Broadway show. And I just knew. And I guess the rest
How cool is
history.
that, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. What was that call like when they said, hey, you're in?
Oh, it was just, it was such a reward, elation after so long of walking dogs and waiting tables. And it had been 7 years since Sideshow, since my first Broadway show. So that was a 7-year gap of, I was doing stuff in between of stuff that was going to come to Broadway and didn't. A new reading of it, it didn't. A new reading musical, it didn't.
Yeah.
So finally I was like, thank goodness. And then, when we were such a hit in La Jolla, they extended it for 3 more months. And then, we just knew we were definitely very, very confident that and we were going to come back to Broadway. And luckily we did.
Cool.
Yeah.
People sometimes they forget that you were in Sideshow as well. How did that happen for you? That was another great one.
Thank you. Well, it definitely was. I was a swing, which was incredible to be cast as a swing. I had the kind of, maybe not now because I've gotten older, because I'm like, where are my keys? Where are my glasses? But in the day, I could look at all 12 roles that I had to cover and like a chess piece. It made sense to me. And that happened because I was auditioning in New York. I just gone to New York, and I ran into a friend of mine from college who had just gotten there and said, I'm playing piano for this new show. We're going to go perform a workshop right now of it, and you should come. And when I saw the workshop of Sideshow, I was weeping at the end of it. And I said, this is totally like, I could do this show. I could be in the show. And about 3 months later, they had open calls, and I went in, and I was standing in line, and having seen the show, I knew, and it said, bring a rock pop song. So I was like, all right, man, I got Beatles, Golden Slumbers, all good. I like to pick something that maybe you haven't heard in a long time. And who really plays or sings Golden Slumbers by the Beatles?
Right.
It's fabulous. But see, I just thought that'd be a perfect rock audition song. Hits a high A, let's do it. And so I'm in the hallway waiting with all these other musical theater actors, and they're all holding, their Les Mis or their chess or their, what else was it? It was Les Mis, it was chess, it was Miss Saigon. And David Chase, the music director, comes out in the hallway and he goes, if I hear one more guy come in and sing Miss Saigon, I'm going to kill you. I want rock and roll. Would someone please? No, this is rock and pop. I don't want Broadway. And he went back in. And now every guy's like frantically like looking through the stuff like, what am I going to do? And I'm like, excuse me. Excuse me, everyone. Coming through, I have the Beatles all prepared. Thank you. And then it was the callbacks and callbacks. And then on a Friday, I remember so well, I knew I was going to get the call. And you didn't have cell phones back then, so I'm waiting all day in my New York apartment on 47th between 10th and 11th, and I'm waiting by the phone. And someone would call me like, hello, I can't talk right now. No, they're going to call me. I got to leave the line clear. Bye. It was like that kind of thing. By 5 o'clock, the phone rang, and it was the casting office. And they were like, we want to offer you a role of swing, and you'll cover various roles. Oh, yes. Wow. So, that was it. And it was a great experience. Unfortunately, the show closed after 3 months, but it was a great experience.
Absolutely. So I'm still bowled over about the 1,000 shows with the Midtown Men, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's incredible. And
so the tour is starting. You're going to be doing it again, right? Continuing.
We've got we've been doing a little privates from here and there. We have an event coming up in the middle of May in Omaha, which is going to be a nice little private soiree. What else? And then coming up in September, we have 3 at the moment. We've got several in November and already many in December. So those are looking good. We're happy about that. But it's still, I want to just say, in the day before this whole COVID, acts like ours, like the Midtown Man, very, there's a million acts out there. We're not reinventing the wheel. We just, we just have a show we put together that people seem to click with and connect with, and we're grateful about that.
Yes.
But you go to these showcases so you can promote your business, and part of it is you perform your business. And
Right.
this place is called APAP. It happens in New York every January, and it's been closed the last 2 years. And even though we've had over 1,000 shows, you still got to spoon feed people. And if you're not in the room with them or shaking their hand or mixing it up, it's just the gigs don't come like they used to. So trying to navigate this new world of not being able to go out to these live showcases because everybody's concerned about, all this stuff.
Is that still happening? That's still,
Yeah, it's still wonky. There's several
yeah.
other showcases coming up around the country, and even now they're trying to figure out how they're going to do it and what the rules are going to be. So we're just going with it. But I have to say, our team, Rock House Productions, they are just stellar, and they're on it. They're very committed. From the moment we met them 11 years ago in Hinckley, Minnesota, at this casino in the middle of a blizzard.
Right.
When they came backstage, they're like, we know exactly what to do with you guys. And
Yeah.
1,000 shows later, they were right. And such smart team too. And really also the thing we always hear from anyone that we work with or perform with, they go, man, that team that you work with, those are some nice guys. It's like, aren't they though?
Mhm.
Jeff V, Tommy V, Thomas Cabot, Jan Hoff. Yeah, they're all swell.
You know who we had on the show recently? He's a great guy. Robbie Robinson, music director for Frankie Valli.
Sure.
He was great. He was terrific. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a very long time.
Great guy. Yeah. He played live as
Talented,
well.
right?
Yeah. Really terrific. And I think he said he knows Florence LaRue because we want to get her on the show as well. He's trying to get her on the show because she's amazing. She wants to pop on. But so when the Midtown Men aren't doing their thing, tell us about what Bobby does, in the interim. Are you always writing music? Are you always, working on things? Because you're also a film director, producer. There's a lot of other people know you from the on stage, the music and everything else, but you have this whole other thing that you do, which is exciting, kind of cool.
Well, thank you. I actually haven't, when we entered this new year after we got off the road jamming in December, and now we're in January, I was just slammed with a lot of auditions. I had to tape a lot of auditions. I actually booked, I'll tell this story real quick. In January, I booked a huge role on the television show FBI. The payday was great. I couldn't believe it. Our minivan was in the shop for $3,400. And I was like, oh my gosh, where am I going to come up with that money? And then I got this great role in this awesome show. And I said, this is going to save the day. And I wanted to get a pop-up tent for the roof of my car because I like to go camping. And so I was like, this gig is going to pay for the rooftop tent and the repairs to the minivan. And so I get to the set, and 2 days before I shoot to do a costume fitting, and then they test you for COVID as they're supposed to. And I tested positive. I couldn't believe it. I didn't feel sick. I had no symptoms, and they had to recast like there. And I was like, oh, there goes the pop-up tent. So that was just one thing I was really focusing, was just one audition after another was really happening. And I had another one that went really well. And then I've had some that have not gone well at all. It's just like you prepare so diligently, and I do. And I walked in the room and just kind of like you're holding the paper and you go, uh-oh. You look down and you go, I lost my place.
Right, exactly.
Can I start over? So even those hiccups still occur. But as far as songwriting, I toured my show 7,000 miles to Broadway. And that's kind of the thing I always go back to as far as being creative. There's the poster right there. And what happened is this generated when just before COVID hit, I went to a showcase, put on this little show about 20 minutes about what this show would be. Oh, 7,000 miles to Broadway. It's the story of me traveling around the country in a yellow station wagon with the wood paneling with my family, listening to the great tunes, whether it was Broadway, whether it was country, there it is, whether it was rock and roll, whether it was Barry Manilow, it was on that radio. And that turned me into the musician artist I am today. It was those traveling from New Jersey, Minnesota, Texas, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Maryland, and then eventually getting to New York City. It was a lot of traveling, but there's a lot of music in those jams. And so I spent time really piecing this together. And through COVID, that little showcase I put on of 7,000 Miles of Broadway, it changed. It didn't change in the sense of concept. It changed as far as structure, as far as songs. I picked up this acoustic. I kept playing. I was going back in time and doing much more Don Williams, Merle Haggard, Conway Twitty, George Jones, Jim Croce, John Denver, Neil Diamond. And I'm so proud of the show because it evolved more out of who I am truly as a musician with what I love so much, which is just, Broadway, country, everything on my show. I'm really pleased that we get to perform. And what happened was, Jim, you're writing a show.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing it in front of an audience, but I've been doing this a long time that I feel confident that I know, okay, that's going to work. Sometimes I go, well, that's not going to work, but I still got to try it because maybe I'm wrong. And generally I'm not. Nope, it didn't work in my head and it didn't work on stage. But I can say that this show from start to finish, everything worked. The audience laughed everywhere they were supposed to. The first show I did of my solo show was booked in College Station, Texas. And it sold out. It was like 900 seats. Oh, listen, there's a couple things. They know how to promote shows down there really, really well.
Yes.
Is one thing.
They sure do.
And they love their Broadway series. And I was flabbergasted. I thought, maybe 200 people, maybe if I'm lucky. And I'm like, no, but it's sold out. I'm like, huh? So what was cool though, Jim, is like I was like, I'm playing drums in the show, and every now and then I pick up my acoustic, but I need someone else. So I grabbed my guitar friend, Nashville musician Miles Aubrey, who actually was in Jersey Boys with me on Broadway for about 5 years, about 3 of those years that I was on Broadway. I met him in 2001 when we did a country show about the life story of George Jones and Tammy Wynette called Stand By Your Man. And I was cast as the drummer in that show. And I was a swing. So again, I was drumming, but I was also covering all these other guys in the show. I loved playing drums for 6 months at the Ryman Auditorium. It was great. And that's what I wanted. So we did like a 2-guy thing. He was able to do my gig. So I'm on stage here, right? Stage right with my drum set. He's over here with his piano and his guitar. It's just this nice little evening of now I got my buddy. We can share stories of being together, and not just on Jersey Boys and Broadway, but this country show we did in Nashville. So it really was it ended up being better than I had originally thought. And I'm very happy and proud of it. And then the next day we took it to Richardson, Texas. Did not have a big turnout as we did in College Station. I had about 150 show up, but regardless, I do remember this. I remember, talking to the phone with my manager, and he's like, well, the ticket sales aren't that good in Richardson. And I said, you know what? I said, I don't care. I said, that's at least 150 people that actually want to see me.
They want to see you. Yes.
So we're doing it. I don't care how many people are there or not. I could do it for one person or nobody, man. For me, it's just like another chance to practice it, another chance to rehearse it. And what maybe like the first night, I was like, hey, and literally like we're driving from College Station to Richardson, and I'm listening to the show because I recorded it, and I'm taking notes as we're going to Richardson. I'm like, hey, we're going to change that spot at the top of the show. When I do that thing, we're going to change that. And then I'm going back a little bit, and I go, hey, that spot we do that song, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to change it. And it was also one of those things where, lastly, I'll say, I didn't know how to end 7,000 Miles to Broadway. I was going to end with my original song, which is titled Goodbye, which you can buy on Spotify. It's called Goodbye. And then I literally was in College Station, Texas that morning. And through my months of notes, and I was scribbling notes everywhere. In fact, I have it somewhere. I was scribbling notes everywhere, scribbling notes on everything. And I have them all stapled together. So it makes sense to me. It won't make sense to anybody else. And throughout that, I kept writing West Side Story because I tell the story when I was horribly cast as Bernardo in college, and I never got to play Tony. Always want to play Tony, but I was horribly cast as Bernardo in college. I got horrible reviews, and I've just about gotten over it. But I never got to play Tony. Now, I kept writing Tony. I kept writing West Side Story, but I was like, no. Finally, that morning, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do, I called up Miles, and I'm going, he's so talented. I go, dude, we're doing Somewhere. We're closing with Somewhere on the acoustic. And I said, here's the key. And I sang it to him over the phone. And I said, what room are you in? We were at the hotel. He goes, I'm in room whatever. Go in. He figures it out like that. And I was like, great. That's how we're ending the show. And
Wow.
I'm so glad we did. And it wasn't, and it just timed out at the same time that, Sondheim had recently passed relatively right at this time. But that really wasn't the deciding factor. The deciding factor was I didn't know how to end the show. And when I kept going back to my notes, I kept seeing that song. And I finally said, with someone like Miles, I could do stuff like that on a heartbeat if I want to. And I'm glad we did. But anyway, I've enjoyed doing that creatively. And the boys and I are just gearing up for the stuff that we have coming up. Creatively, I haven't been writing many songs because I did so much work traveling with the Midtown Men and doing my show that when I got back in January, I just kind of let my fingers relax.
Yeah. A number of people were saying that, while everything was sort of shut and closed down, that even though it was tough from an economical standpoint, they also liked the downtime a little bit because they were able to do some things, hobbies, connection with the family, do some things. They always finish the book, do things that they would never have been able to do if they were still running around on tour, pounding the pavement, grinding, and that they actually took some of the time to breathe and reconnect with life and nature and all of that. Did you get a chance to do some of that as well during the time?
Camping. I did some camping. I guess I wouldn't call it a midlife crisis, but I do know that if you do encounter one, I've been told you usually buy cars. And I was buying a Coleman cooking stove. and I was buying the pots and the pans. And I just love it. I love going out. And people are like, what do you do? He's like, that's the point. You can do whatever you want or do nothing.
Yeah, because you get away from the hustle bustle, the cities, and you're just out in nature and you do your thing, which is great, huh?
Yeah, I love it. I have a Honda Element. It just reached 200,000 miles. Oh,
congratulations!
Yes. Open up that back and sleep in there, and take your dog with you, and it's constantly like when you're in that environment, you really have to constantly have the fire going, especially in Oregon, depending on what time of year it is. But you really realize that you're bringing the wood, and if you're not chopping you're bringing it with you, and you got to prep your food and everything. You think, how did the homesteaders do it in the day? How? It was constant. And you're just doing it for a couple of days when you're camping, thinking about that every day for your days, Anyway, so I do love that very much. And I started playing a lot until recently, I was really doing a lot of tennis.
Oh yeah, sure.
Doing some tennis. I was enjoying getting back into that with a buddy of mine. And I don't know. And I've been Mr. Mom quite a bit.
What's better, your forehand or your backhand?
So, my forehand, but my backhand, I'm surprised. It's actually not that bad. When I was a kid, it was like, oh, it's just never got it. And now I'm like, what's the big deal?
It's it.
Why is it such a problem?
Right.
Yeah,
my backhand's pretty good too. Yeah.
All right, Jim. Well, we're gonna have to play then.
That's it. You mentioned the Honda making 200,000 miles. We had a Volvo 850 JLT that made it to 510,000 miles.
Man,
hated trading that in, getting rid of that car. Still, it was a great car. Just really solid. 510,000 miles.
After 500,000 miles, there's no way you can have an emotional attachment. Of course you did.
Right, exactly.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
I love getting in my car. I love getting in my Honda Element. I do.
It's you're good to it. It's good to you, like anything in life, right?
Yeah. All these gas prices, though, are making it not as fun to drive around.
Yeah.
But that's another bump we'll get over one of these days. But until then, I just But I have been like, you're a chauffeur when you got 2 kids. You got one kid that's going to the basketball. You got a kid going to the volleyball, or you got to pick them up this time. You got to drop off. It's nonstop in that world. Yeah.
But you love it, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you love it.
Yeah.
Keeps the blood flowing, the juices flowing. Speaking of which, do you have a tune you want to share with us? I know our lovely audience watching around the world. Hey, everybody. Jrobertspencer, Bobby is here. This is his return visit to the Jim Master Show Live. I said that we would keep the porch light on for him like we do for all the guests. He's back with us live. Jersey Boys, the Midtown Men, all of his great work himself. I'm your host, Jim Masters. Thanks for joining us. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, the channel you're watching right now, we encourage you to do that. Bobby, they really should subscribe to the Jim Masters TV channel, shouldn't they?
Yes.
Music to subscribe by. I love it.
Baby, love me. Oops. Love me. Yes, yes, he does. Came in early. I'm just like, yeah. Huh. Says she love me. Yes, yes, she does. Gonna show her the light, yeah. She got the way to move me, Jerry. Come on, Jerry, baby. Yeah. Girl, we do whatever we want to. Oh, I love the way you do that. Jerry, baby, you really get to me. She got the way to do me, Jerry. Come on, Jerry, baby. Yeah. Okay. Nothing like singing along with your own recording. I enjoyed that. Oh, came a little early though. Doggone, you practice so long, and then this just
Nobody knew a
goes to show you.
thing. Nobody knew a
Yes, they
thing.
did. Yes, they did. I love that song. There's something like that Neil Diamond Hot August Night album. I mean, that album is just a killer and a half. I mean, that whole Hollywood Bowl recording, it's just one of those albums you gotta own, man.
Monica McDonough says, we loved 7,000 Miles to Broadway. Had a great time in Pennsylvania.
Oh, I did it. Yeah, thank you for. Oh, yeah, that was a lovely time in Pennsylvania. Oh my gosh, that was actually. Thank you for mentioning that, because even though I did go to Texas, that Pennsylvania gig was the real first live appearance of 7,000 Miles to Broadway. So that actually I consider like my first live workshop. And it was part of that thing. When I got down with that gig, it really helped me prepare further for Texas. It made me go, okay, this is what I need, this is what I need, and this is what I need. So yeah, that's the creative process though. I really appreciate you coming. I had a lovely time. This beautiful little arena out in the woods. Oh, I had a great time. And my friend Jenny Hack, she runs that joint, and we went to college together. So yeah, it was just a nice little thing. You never know when you're gonna need somebody that that you've been friends with all these lives and all these years. You never know. But
is that going to come back? The 7,000, is that something that you'd like to have come back?
I'd love to perform it at other venues and possibly colleges and conservatories, and maybe incorporate. The thing is, I've already sent out. The thing I have been doing, Jim, is sending out constant information to various venues and schools across this country, and just seeing if anybody bites. You got to promote yourself, and so that's what I want to do. I want to do that, and not just the show, but incorporate maybe I could also do a 2-hour workshop with whoever,
Well, that's a cool
with
idea.
if it's a school, do 2-in-1, get there and work with the students, work with the actors and actresses, and then do the show that night. So kind of make it a 2-in-1 is what we'd love to do. But for now, all we've been able to do is just perform the
Yeah.
show itself. But we have a lot of hopes for it.
That is
Got to see if
really,
anybody bites,
that's it. Right. Exactly. You throw it out there and see where it lands. And hopefully that'll be the case. Yeah, for sure. What else do you have up your sleeve as you're poised there with your fabulous guitar? Tell us
Oh,
about the guitar itself. It looks like a
I'd
beautiful
love
guitar.
to. All right. Well, I call her Lafayette because I got this Alvarez down on Lafayette Street in New York City in 1998. Because I remember, because in 97 I was inside show, and that music in that show was so beautiful. It just got my head going. I was like, I have to write songs. And I had been with a band forever ago, but now I was alone. I was like, so I bought a guitar, not this one, and I was starting to play. But then I saw this in the window of a pawn shop, and I loved it. And I just love the way it plays. I've had it forever. I've had it since then. And I bought another guitar, down the line, but I ended up selling it. I have another little baby when I sometimes travel with. It's a good backup guitar in case I break a string.
Yeah.
But no, I love this guitar. I love this guitar. What could I do on this guitar today? I could do another one, but let me see what I have here. I have, let me see. Oh, if anyone is interested, maybe I could just tell everyone, you could always go to Jrobertspencer, go to anything like Spotify, whatever you have out there. iTunes if that even exists, I don't know. Google Play is out there. And I have several songs, several solo pieces out there. Of course, you mentioned earlier, Waiting on Christmas. Of course, there's several. So please look it up. I think I have, yes, these are the various album covers of my work.
Your child just made that for you 10 minutes ago, didn't they?
Well, I thought it was always good if I have to do these online shows, and there was a lot of them during COVID. I was like, I just wanted to blow up my album covers. So this is what you're looking for. You can go on Spotify. This is what you're looking for, okay? And this one here, Holding On for Dear Life, that one there in the corner, we did that one big time during COVID. I wrote that like right at the heart of it. And
actually, it's cool. If you flip it around, that poster of the Midtown Man behind is cool too.
Yeah, I put all my album covers on the back of this poster. Look at this thing. This thing goes back to 2000 and what? May 5th, almost. I think this was May 5th. This was at least 9 years ago. Look at this cool thing. But yeah, I grabbed it off the wall all those times ago. But I guess maybe I could find an original tune to sing for everybody here. Let me see.
Really
I'm
cool.
looking through my various.
Everybody's loving it. Our viewers around the world are commenting. They're welcoming you from the US, from Canada, from Europe, Asia, Australia, New Zealand, Africa.
Oh, you guys, thank you.
Yeah, the JMS.
Here we go.
Glad to see you back on our show.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do, I just need to find it. This is great. I love having this rig, and I have everything here. Okay. I recorded this tune, and it's not actually, by the way, I just want to point out, Jim, can you make me wide again real quick? I just want to point out to everybody.
Most people say, please don't make me wide, make me thin.
I hope everybody's noticing this gap here, and this gap here.
Oh no, they're loving the wall.
It couldn't stretch all the way. So over there's kind of like the leads up to the stairs, and over here is just whatever. So I'm sorry if that looks kind of janky.
No, they love the wall. Did you paint that, or did you buy it that way? I forgot. I think you said last time how you got it.
Yeah, I just bought it. It's just like you just hang it up and everything. So had to have a special background. But this is called, let me find it. I'm going to do Goodbye. I think I'll do Goodbye. This is a song, Goodbye, and it's an original I wrote on the road when I was traveling with the Midtown Men. And we were in LA, and we had like 4 days off. And I was, I had all these songs in my head.
Yeah.
And I had to get them out. I didn't have my guitar with me. I didn't have Lafayette. So I bought the little guitar at a guitar center. I wrote this song and another song, like in 2 hours. And this has no vocals, so I'll just be singing with the master track with my vocals not included. There's harmony in there, but
yeah.
I hope you all enjoy it. You can get it on Spotify. And when you hear the sax solo, it belongs to the fabulous, marvelous gentleman by the name of Greg Riley.
Oh, wow. Cool
Yeah,
stuff.
he's a good guy. Here we go. This is Goodbye. I hope you all like
All
it.
right. Jrobertspencer on the Jim Masters Show live. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Give us a subscribe on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. We'd love that too. And leave a comment for us and click the notification bell.
Goodbye.
Here we go.
I believe it's time to go, but I'll take your sunshine to the next place down the road. Yesterday, about a decade long ago, we started to play. Went as far as it could go. I don't wish to make much more of this. There's so much more I wanna live, not miss. So let's just take a step back and soak it all in with the long lost friend. Let's piece up on the apple again and again and again. Over and over, let's just light it all up where it all began and let it go with that. These days, I grow numb with the road, so I must take a break, for my heart turns too cold. We caravan for miles on land and sky, and my cup is full and yet it's going dry. Let's just take a step back and soak it all in with the long lost friend. Let's piece up on the apple again and again and again. Over and over, let's just light it all up where it all began and let it go with that. There's nothing wrong with that. So let's just take a step back and soak it all in with the long lost friend. And let's piece up on the apple again and again and again. Over and over, let's just light it all up where it all began. And let's just take a step back. Let's just take a step back and let it go with that. Goodbye. That was Goodbye by me. Hope you enjoyed it.
I love that. That was fantastic. That was
thanks.
terrific.
Thanks.
Veronica Lee's watching in Australia. She says, awesome air guitar solos.
I'm very good at my air guitar. I actually played drums on that track and acoustic, but did not do electric on that one. Yes, I did not. So yes, if you saw me air drumming, yes, that was air drumming to myself.
Now, there was no music with that. It was just your voice. Was that supposed to be?
Say what?
When we heard that, there was no musical accompaniment. It was just your voice. But your voice
Stop it,
sounded great.
Jim. You didn't
Yeah.
hear that? Wait,
No.
you're not hearing this. Oh, shit. Oh, sorry. I know why. Oh, you
No.
guys, I'm sitting there singing a
No.
cappella.
But I tell you, the
No,
test of
that's
a true,
ridiculous.
the test of
How
a
could that be?
true.
Because I just played another recording and you guys heard it perfectly. Didn't you hear Cherry Baby?
We did hear that, but nothing with that. But you know, I'm telling you, giving you props, it's a test
Oh,
of a true vocalist when you can do it with
I
no,
can't
not
believe
even a
that.
piccolo. You didn't even have a
Nice
piccolo.
cover up, Jim. You're trying to like Bobby. Seriously, it was good. Well,
That was really
that's a
good. They get to hear
shame.
your voice pure and organic.
No, that's
They loved it
ridiculous.
because they were
Can you
complimenting. Look,
can you hear
that
that? Can
look,
you hear that?
Pluto says that was very good. Loved it, Bobby. Gorgeous
Jim,
voice.
Jim, can you hear this? Can you hear this? Can you hear that?
No,
I don't know why it's not working all of a sudden, but you
they're,
heard.
they're loving your voice as
All right.
is.
Well, I guess I'm not going to worry about it. Wait a minute. Can you hear this? Let me try this. Can you hear this?
Nope.
Huh.
Great job from Charlene Lee. Good to see you, Charlene. Gorgeously done from Veronica Lee in Australia. Terry Ann, claps. Merlin in Canada. Great singing, Bobby.
Well, thanks. Well, let's.
Doreen, your voice is beautiful.
I appreciate everybody. Stop the compliments. I can't believe I didn't have a compliment on that. I'm embarrassed as can be because I got this rig set up. Well, then we're just going to play a few live stuff here. Let me do something else, I guess, for everybody.
It was terrific. It was cool. It was something different, and they did really. Your voice is great.
All right.
Keep the compliments coming, gang.
All right, yeah.
Don't let them stop
well, let's
you.
give us something here. I'll do this one.
Yeah.
Now there's something with accompaniment.
I was going to say, then it was beautifully done. Really, really cool. It sounds great when you do it all on the guitar, my friend. It really, really does.
Thanks.
Charlene loving it, sounding great.
Thanks, Charlene.
Yeah, everybody here, they're saying they're having a great
Marilyn.
time. Merlin,
Thanks,
yeah,
Gene.
love Don
Thanks,
Williams,
Gary.
mellow. I could listen to you sing all day long. Wonderful, great song. Yeah, good stuff, my friend. Good stuff.
Sherry.
Yeah, everybody here, all of our regular lovedies and a lot of the new folks that are joining us as well. Got a couple of cool photos we want to sprinkle in too.
Okay.
Maybe you can sort of narrate some of them.
I'd love to. Oh, that's a great one. Oh, man.
Great one.
You know, there's Hugh Jackman, his wife Deborah, and there's Joel Gray. And this was during, let's see, Next to Normal. And this was a Monday on our night off. And on Sunday, Hugh and his wife had come to the show. And a lot of people were coming to the show, and most of them came backstage. So we were all very, very hopeful they would come backstage, and they didn't. And we were like, oh, man, what a bummer. So fast forward to the next evening, which is what you're looking at. We went to this Tony Award dinner function, and we're seated at the table, and sitting next to my wife is Joel Gray, and they'd done Chicago together on Broadway, so they're catching up. And next to me is a couple other wonderful people. And then you see Hugh walk in with his wife, and I said to my wife, I go, hey, I said, I need to go get him right now before everybody attacks him, you know?
Yeah.
And so I made my way as quickly as I could to him, and I said, excuse me, hey, Mr. Jackman, Deborah, hi. I'm Bobby Spencer. I said, I think you guys came to Next to Normal last, and that's about all I got out of my mouth. And then they both realized who I was, that I was, you know, in the show, they just seen Next to Normal, and they both went, oh my gosh. And they were so like, oh my gosh, you were incredible. Your voice is beautiful. He said, we got back we couldn't come backstage. We were so devastated. We went back to the hotel. We talked about that show for 3 hours. We couldn't stop talking about that show. I was like, wow. And it was really something. And he also had said to me very personally, you know, he said that his mom had bipolar depression, and that's the rock opera, and that's what Next to Normal is about. And he said, I really saw myself and my dad in you in that performance, and I could really relate to what you were doing. I was like, wow.
That is really beautiful to share that.
He's a beautiful guy.
Yeah, to share that with you so openly is really
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
beautiful moment. Here's another great one.
Hey, well, Jeff Daniels, and there's his wife, Catherine, and they came through Oregon because he's a musician. He's quite a
That's
wonderful
right.
musician and songwriter. And we had met during Jersey Boys, and then when I was doing Next to Normal, he was in Gods of Carnage, and they were right next to our theater. And because I'd met him several times through Jersey Boys, um, there I was in the theater next to Jeff. And one day, walking to the theater, I see him, and he doesn't see me. He's walking down the alley towards the stage door of his theater, and I'm
Hmm.
like, "Hey, Jeff Daniels,
Yeah.
Jeff Daniels!" And he like kind of waves
Yeah.
behind me as he's walking. And I go, "It's Bobby Spencer," and he stops and he turns and he goes, "Bobby, hey!" And I was like, "Hey," and I was like, "I'll talk to you later." I was like, "I'm next door at the next. I'll talk to you later." And then we ran into each other all the time at Tony. There was a Tony season. His play was nominated. We were nominated. And when he came through Oregon, I saw that he was coming through Oregon, and I got a hold of somebody, and they got me a hold of his family, and they were gracious, and they got us tickets, and we went to see him and his family perform live in Oregon. Then we hung out backstage, and just very nice people, gracious, beautiful people, and he's a great picker, though. He really knows how to pick that guitar.
He really knows how to do it, huh?
Yeah,
It's a great shot there of everybody.
yeah, it's so much fun.
Really, really cool. There's another great one.
Hey, there's Geddy Lee of
Wow.
the rock group Rush. That was,
Yes.
you know why this was so, look how brown my hair is. Okay. You know how this is like 2000 and 2000 and Midtown Men. It was Midtown Men time. So it's like 2014. Okay. Jim, when we filmed that live in concert, Midtown
Yeah.
Men at the Pack, there were
Right.
two gentlemen filming that. They were they're from Canada. Their names are Francois. I'm blanking. Francois and Pierre Lamoureux, and they have shot rock concerts for groups like Rush, for groups like Aerosmith, for groups like Jim Body, all these
Top of the
eclectic,
line. Yeah.
yeah, all these crazy, amazing artists of all genres and decades and years. Judy Collins, I mean,
Yeah.
everybody. So there they are, hired by PBS to film us. So they knew what a big Rush fan I was, and they were so amazing. And so there was one time when we were in New York, they called me up and they go, "Bobby, are you in New York?" I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "We're down in Soho right now. We're shooting a television interview with Geddy Lee. Get down here." And so I
Wow.
run down there. They have me set up right behind Geddy on the stage. So if you ever see this video footage of Geddy Lee in an interview, you'll see me sitting right behind him. And I brought my bass player, Brian Holtz, who's been our bass player for the Midtown Men for so long. I took
Yeah.
him with me. I'm like, "You got to come with me. Come on, let's go." So the show's done. And Francois and Pierre are like, "Come on, man, I want you to meet him." Now you have to understand, I grew up in 1981 when I heard their album Moving Pictures. I was in 4th grade. And when I heard the song Tom Sawyer, I started playing drums ever since. So this guy, those three Canadians, they have been part of my everything forever. As much as De Niro's been involved with an actor's life, Rush is that kind of intensity for my musical life. So we walk in, and Francois is like, "Hey, Geddy, I want you to meet this Jrobertspencer. We shot a concert with him." And Geddy's got these grandpa glasses on, and he's actually, he looks up from his phone, and he stands up and he's looking at me still, and he shakes my hand, and his skin is so soft. It was like tissue. His hands were so soft and so strong. And I never forget that he just didn't let go of my hand, and he looked me directly in the eyes. And Pierre's going, "This guy's nominated for a Tony Award. He was in Jersey Boys." And I'm like, okay, stop. I wanted to know what you're doing, man. So I was like, "That's very nice of you." But when you get to tell your hero, you meet him, you tell them thank you, you tell them all these other things, which I don't need to harp about. It was just the greatest thing. And to say, "Hey, by the way, we named our son Geddy, by the way." And then you show a picture of your son to him, and he's like, "No way." And then I said, "Now, can we please get a selfie?" And that's what you saw. And he goes, "Absolutely." And that's why I'm smiling so big. And he's smiling too, man. He really listened. It was a good chunk of at least 4 minutes, and he was beautiful. And it was, I'll never forget it.
That
Never
cool?
forget it. So
Yeah.
cool. Thanks for sharing that.
Absolutely. That's a really, really great shot. Here's another one.
Aha!
Bruce Springsteen.
He came back he came to the show. That's Jersey Boys. That's my Nick Massey second act outfit. And he came back
He's
under
a
the
real
stage.
Jersey boy, of course. Yes.
Absolutely. He was that's under the stage at intermission. He came downstairs, and at the time his kids were like 16 and 19. And they're obviously not now, but he was so cool and gracious. And then we met him again when we did that Christmas song with Stevie Van Zandt. All Alone on Christmas. And we a couple months after that, they did a Man of the Year award evening. They gave to Stevie, and he asked us to be there, which was so gracious of him. Nice. And there was Bruce again. And there you are talking to him on stage. It's like, hey, remember we met backstage at Jersey Boys? You brought your kids. They were 19 and 17. Oh, yeah. How are they? Oh, they're out of the house now. And I remember Daniel was with me. Daniel's like, how's that feel? Does that feel kind of weird that they're out of the house? He's like, yeah. So you're just talking. It's just so normal. This life that it's been so fortunate to have at the times that it's been at my disposal. These little gems of moments I never take for granted, never forget. And also, you got to remember, I grew up with him because my sister Pammy. When you talk about traveling across the country, every sister had a different person that was their favorite. And Pam was Bruce Springsteen, and it was Peter Frampton.
Oh,
that
Frampton, yeah.
And then they all had their favorites, but it was really, really fabulous having him back there, and then run into him again all those years later and having a nice little chat with him. So yeah.
That's a really, really great shot. We had Debbie Steinberg Lewis on the show, who worked with Peter Frampton in the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts
the movie. Oh my gosh,
the movie. She's awesome. She is awesome.
Oh, I remember that movie. Of humor. This was that.
You have all the props. You had the eyeglasses.
This was the Rolling Stone, baby. This was where the Bruce picture was taken. This was the Bruce shot. So there's the Bruce shot. There it is. Right there. I just angle it right. There's the rest of the boys. Yeah, there was the Bruce shot.
Very cool. You have all the props, including those specs, those eyeglasses you just pulled off a shelf.
They're somewhere up there. And then nostalgia, Reader's Digest, The Untold Story of the Beatles, and then where was it? Oh no, not that. No, not the laundry detergent. Here it is. And then this wonderful spread of all of us just before we opened that show. It's just again, look at that brown hair.
Isn't that cool? The brown hair. Now, you and I were chatting before we went live on the air on the show that sometimes people would say, and I could definitely see it around the eyes. And I think if people look maybe from a little bit of a distance with the eyes, the Ricky Martin resemblance to Ricky Martin, another great talent.
I shouldn't get too close.
You used to hear that, you said, right? I thought it was recent.
Just in the height of his living the vida loca. He was everywhere. And I would get you kind of look like when I was tanner and I had dark hair. Again, the dark hair. I got that.
The Ricky Martin comparison, right?
But he's a good-looking gentleman. But I always got Jim Carrey. That's what I always got. Always got Jim Carrey.
Maybe the bouncy personality, the enthusiasm, the stamina.
Probably, based off my stand-up comedy that I would do back in the day of the Groundlings back in LA. I did very Andy Kaufman, Steve Martin, Jim Carrey kind of stuff when I did my stuff.
Yeah.
Do
you like that? Is that something you would ever go back to doing, comedy, stand-up?
Well, you know what? It really
changed a lot.
But it has. But, in a lot of ways, that's what I'm not doing stand-up per se, but I'm entertaining audiences and I'm telling jokes. I'm telling stories that people enjoy and people, react to and relate to, whether they're crying or laughing along with it. So I think the key to, the stand-up comic is just connecting, hope that your material connects with the audience is all. And I had some material in the past, like I said, that didn't connect with anybody but me. But yeah, no, it's just trial and error. But stand up, sure, I'd go back and do it in a heartbeat, but I'm not writing in that vein anymore. But my thing really is, when you grow up like you did, you're watching Johnny Carson, and then rock and Dick Cavett, right? And then rock and roll. So that's what the Midtown Men does for me. I'm able to do my rock and roll persona with the guys, with the music we love of the 60s. And then I can tell stories, and it's no different than it feels in the same vein as Johnny Carson doing his monologue. You know, I just
Yeah.
feel very comfortable talking to people and telling stories, and I've always been able to balance that. When I was first in the business, I got a children's show and I toured the country. And it was Charlotte's Web. Now we all know,
Oh, yeah.
Charlotte passes away
Yeah.
at the end of the book, right?
Right.
So I'm the narrator of this children's show touring the country, and I'm in my early 20s. And we get to this point where I go, and then Charlotte went behind the barn and never returned.
Mm.
The next morning on the farm, and you kind of move forward, and this little girl comes in from the audience, and she walks up on the stage, and she's probably 6 or 7. And you can hear it. And we're in a packed place. I remember we're in New Orleans. We were in a packed theater. It was all these kids, you know, they all come in with their school buses.
Yes.
And I can hear every person in the audience going, like they're gasping, like, oh, the little girl's walking on stage. The little girl's walking on stage. And so I'm just narrating. I can see peripherally. And I casually walk over to her and I kneel down beside her. I go, hi, honey, what is it? And she goes, it's not fair. Charlotte can't die. And I go, and the whole audience goes, oh, because they can hear her talking through my head mic. I said, well, honey, I promise you, if you go sit down, there's a real happy ending to this story. I promise you. But in order for me to get to it, you got to go back to your seat.
You got to
okay?
stick around. Yes.
And she goes, okay. And she turns and she goes, but it's not fair. And I'll never forget that. And then the narrator had to turn and leave stage. And when I was walking off the stage, everybody in the wings, the stage manager, the crew, were all like,
yeah.
most of them were crying. Most were like, oh my God, that was so. He said, how did you handle that? You handled that so good. I was like, handle what? It's like, it's so simple to me. It's like, it's this is live theater, you know?
Yes.
This
right.
is a gentle heckler. So.
Which is a rare thing these days, I tell you, a gentle heckler. That's so cool. What a great story that is. Hey, we got another shot here, Bobby. Look at this. Phil Collins.
Oh.
When was this?
Boy, God bless you, Phil Collins. One of the greatest rock drummers and singers. He really got me when I was playing drums. And then you start
studio.
Oh, well, when I started in 1981, then, you know, Genesis was out there. I was playing with Genesis. But when he came out with Phil Collins, I don't care anymore. You know, that whole solo album.
Yeah.
Yeah, he changed everything with his drumming and his songwriting, his producing. Changed it all. And he was there doing Tarzan, and we were in Jersey Boys. He had seen the show. He'd come to the show, and he was working with our writer, Rick Ellis of Jersey Boys. They were working on the Broadway Tarzan.
Yeah.
He had written the music for the cartoon. So I saw him at Jersey Boys. He was in the 4th row. And now he's a drummer. I'm a drummer. He's the drummer. He's fantastic. And I'm a drummer. So I can see him in the seat jamming like a drummer would, listen to the music, Now, about a week later, the boys and I were asked to perform at Cipriani's at this big, some kind of theater event. It was loaded. There was tons of people eating dinner. It was packed. Well, we were in the upstairs dressing room, and Rick Ellis from Jersey Boys brings in Phil Collins. And we're like, oh my gosh, oh no way. And Phil is like this going, oh, I can't. You guys are too good. You're too good. You're too good. Oh, hello. And he's beating everybody. He comes over to me and I'm like, hey man, I was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. I was like, I used to play drums and sing along with you all the time in my bedroom in high school and college. I was like flabbergasted. I was like, this is so cool. And I said, and I saw you at the show, man. He said, yes, this was wonderful. I said, I saw you rocking out. And he said, no, I wasn't. And I go, yeah, you were. I saw you rocking out. He said, no, I didn't. I stayed for the whole thing. And I said, not walking out, rocking out. He said, oh, yes. He's like, I couldn't hear you. It's the drums. I couldn't hear you. Yes, Yes, I was rocking out. So this picture is the opening night of Tarzan. And he saw us and we went over to him. And this is when we really got to just hang and talk. Yeah. And somebody was there, took a great picture. I'm so glad they did. Oh, absolutely. And we just had a great talk. And he said, you know, he said, your show is so good. He said, that show is going to win every award. He said, and it should. He said it should. And then his phone rang and he said, I got to take this. And we hugged and he rolled. And then, and I turned And then now there's Stephen Schwartz, acclaimed musical writer of Godspell and Children of Eden and Wicked. And I had auditioned for Stephen quite a few times over the years. And there was a time when one particular show, I remember the music director calling me and saying, Stephen really loves you, but he just can't figure out where to put you in this show. I was like, oh, okay. So when I saw Stephen, he came over to me and he gave me a really big hug, and he was so beautiful. And he said to me, Bobby, this is again, Jersey Boys. He goes, Bobby, I just want to say congratulations. I know you've been at this a long time. I know you've been really waiting for your moment. He's like, I'm really happy for you. You really deserve it. And I was just, oh, Stephen, thank you. And I remember leaving the party. I was like, I'm done. That was amazing. I was like, there's nothing, it can't get better. Talking and hanging with Phil Collins and Stephen Schwartz gives you a really beautiful compliment. I'm like, I'm done.
That's
I'm
an
going.
extraordinary,
Yeah.
Couldn't script that at all. No, that was.
I don't want to bore everyone. I know these are long-winded, but
they're loving it.
Jim, I want to tell everyone. Lastly, I've never told this story about Henry Winkler. And I want to, because Henry, everybody hears and knows that he's this amazingly nice person. It's true.
Yes.
I grew up watching the Fonz, and
who told me that? Marion Ross told me that. She was a guest on the show, and she really developed an actual friendship when working together on Happy Days, Henry Winkler and Marion Ross. And when she was on the show, she mentioned how not only skilled and talented he is, but how nice of a guy he really is in person.
He got the role of Fonzie like the first week he got to LA. He was in New York. I know the background. He was in New York doing commercials.
Right.
He made enough money in the 70s in those commercials to actually move to LA, because his agent was like, if you want to stay and do your commercial, you can, but you want to be known worldwide, you got to come to LA. And a week later, he got Fonzie. So when he comes to Jersey Boys, everybody's coming, as you know, all these actors and stars are all coming.
Oh, yeah.
But I was like, I couldn't speak. I was tongue-tied. So he comes backstage. He's so nice to us all. Hello. And generally, I froze. Well, I hand wrote him a letter thanking him for all the years, asking him to forgive me for being so tongue-tied. I couldn't speak. I was flabbergasted meeting you. You were my hero growing up. And I told him, I said, I saw you and John Ritter on Broadway in The Dinner Party, in Neil Simon's The Dinner Party. And I said, you two guys were my favorite actors growing up as a kid. You got Jack Tripper and the Fonz. And I said, I ran into John on a subway platform during the time he was doing Dinner Party, and I did the same thing. I froze. And no one was on the platform. It was like us. I could have talked his ear off maybe. And all I could say was like, hey, loved you in Dinner Party. And he turned and he smiled. He was like, thanks. And I wrote to Henry in the letter, I never got to tell John what I want to tell you, how much you meant to me. And I went on how much and I didn't want to let that opportunity, to pass. I want you to know, thank you, basically. Sent it off, found an address for a production house, sent it. A week later, we're at an event. It's a big event. Sting is at the event. He's performing with his wife with a string quartet. And we go to the after party, right? This is like the height that you're like, whoa, we get to do this fun stuff. So we're in line waiting to go see Sting. And he's in a room. And there's a spotlight on a chair that he's sitting in. It's like that Godfather. And we're in line waiting to go in. My phone rings. And it says unknown caller. And I pick up. I go, hello? Robert? Yes? Henry Winkler. Oh, my gosh. He goes, how are you? I go, I'm freaking out right now. Can I freak out right now? He said, yes, you can freak out. And I move out of line. And I said to my wife, I go, it's Henry Winkler. And she goes, who? I go, it's Henry Winkler. She's like, who? I go, the Fonz. And she goes, oh, the Fonz. So we're like this with the phone. We're like this at the party in the corner trying to hear. And Henry goes, Robert, I got your letter. And I wanted to let you know it's crystal clear. Thank you so much for writing that. Thank you so much. Bobby, he said, I want you to know something. He said, my face hurt so much the next day after I saw your show because I smiled so much through that whole thing. He said, what you're doing is providing so much entertainment for so many people. He said, just keep being that provider. Thank you so much. And that's like the main point of that conversation, his generosity. He called me. And again, I hung up the phone and I said to my wife, I was like, I'm done. I don't need to see Sting. I just talked to the funds. I'm good. I want to go home. And
That's
yeah,
incredible, huh?
true story. And it shows it's all true what you hear about him. He's an amazing, wonderful, wonderful person.
I had something similar happen with Florence Henderson where we were at an event and I was introduced to her and it was a fabulous evening and we kept having these chats and all of this stuff throughout the whole night. It was a big charitable gala fundraising situation and she was absolutely nothing short of amazing. And as she was leaving the evening with her daughters, I went up to her again and I said the same thing. I just want you to know how much you've meant as a performer, just as a talent, as a person, not only as, Carol Brady on the Brady Bunch, but all the other incredible things you've done. And I later learned that she wrote back to every single person that ever wrote to her. She took the time to write back. And it was absolutely epic. It was terrific. She kissed me on the cheek. I kissed her on the cheek. She said, I'll never forget this evening. I said, neither will I. And it was absolutely incredible. A couple of weeks later, she passed away after she was rooting on Maureen McCormick, who was in Dancing with the Stars that year. And I was like, that was one of those, there was a divine intervention that came in that said that before that happens, she and I had to connect, and we connected in a way that was unbelievable. And when you have those opportunities like you did to tell Henry what he meant, so he really felt that, it's incredible. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? And that's a story you're able to share that moved him as much as it moves you telling it.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Not enough people get a chance to hear those stories of how they've meant and the impact that they've had. And not enough people share it as well. That's
well,
really
I'm glad I
cool.
did, because there's a lot of stories, and sometimes I forget the ones that I really want to share. And that's one I I wanted to share for a long time. And so I've been fortunate to have a lot of wonderful experiences with a lot of people that have come backstage. And what a nice thing.
Why do you love doing what you do? And you've done so long and you do so well, my friend. What is it that continues to keep driving you, Bobby, through thick and thin, up and down, left and right, front and center, keep out, putting that positive energy out there, entertaining, keeping people revved up and happy about life and just entertaining them? What does that juice and inspiration come from inside for you, Bob?
Well, I know that I always loved entertainment. I loved sitting down with my family and watching the Friday night lineup in CBS back in 1976 was All in the Family. I think I'm right on this. Everyone try it out with the trivia. All in the Family, The Jeffersons, Mary Tyler Moore, Bob Newhart, then The Carol Burnett Show. And then it would lead to the weeknights of Johnny Carson. So I loved the entertainment aspect of those styles of shows. I loved the talk show entertainment style of those shows. I loved live performances, and I loved that I was always forgetting what had gone bad that particular day or week based off of the entertainment. And that's what our job is. It's a hard job. Some people have an easier, more successful time being an artist, and others, like myself, are still auditioning. But I'm a vagabond. Yeah, I'm a vagabond. I travel from city to city, and I live the life of a vagabond. And when I was watching Wizard of Oz way long ago, whenever that was, maybe a year ago, it was on, and there's that whole sequence when the guy's got the potion and he's in the back of the trolley and he's traveling from town to town. Right? He's a salesman, and it just, that particular time and seeing it after seeing it how many years, I was like, that's me. I'm like, that's me. I'm like traveling from town to town still, traveling from town to town.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love traveling, and I love going to different towns to bring entertainment to people that wouldn't be able to get to New York City or get to,
Hmm.
any kind of maybe huge concert venue, or maybe they wouldn't be able to spend the ticket to see a huge concert, but they could definitely go to the small little theater down
Yeah.
in their hometown, in their neck of the woods, and see someone like us, the Midtown Man, or even if I'm able to come around with my solo stuff, just want to entertain. And it's what drives me are the smiles and the
Yeah.
applause, and that people still want to see it. At some point, people are just not gonna want to see it anymore, and that's just the way it is. But yeah, I don't know what else to do either.
It's coming from your heart and soul. It's what
Yeah,
you love. It's an autopilot situation, It's
yeah.
totally you know. You picked up the guitar. Do you have something else you want to do?
I do. Hold on, I'm gonna look here.
And while you're
Since
doing
since
that,
my since my recordings aren't working on doggone it,
while
I'm
you're
just
doing that, you had
yeah.
mentioned the Carol Burnett show,
Yeah.
and we could do a quick happy birthday for beloved Carol, who is spectacular.
Is it her birthday today?
It's her birthday this week. I believe it
Oh
was
man.
yesterday. So
Oh,
happy birthday,
I'm
Carol
so
Burnett.
glad we had this time
Together.
just
Just
to
to
have
have
a
a
laugh
laugh and
or
sing a
sing a
song.
song.
Seems
Seems we
like
just get
just get
started,
started. And
and
before
before
you
you
know
know
it,
it, comes the
comes the time
time
we
we
have
have
to
to say
say so
so long.
long. You know why she used to pull her ear, right?
You tell. I do know what's the reason.
Happy birthday, Carol. We love you, Carol Burnett. Love you, love you, love you. Happy birthday from Jim Masters, Jrobertspencer, all the
Happy birthday,
lovelies, to
Carol.
one of our favorites. Working in television myself, one of my favorites. That was a little clue, a little signal to her grandmother. She would pull on her ear, little signal to her grandmother that everything is okay. That
That's right.
everything is okay. Things are good. Yeah.
All right, I'm looking for.
Happy birthday,
I,
Carol Burnett.
I did that one. Oh, I could do this one. I know what I'm going to do. How about one of the things in New York City when I was traveling around, when I was auditioning, and I bought that guitar, I spent a lot of time in the subway playing the guitar. And I'd have my guitar case out and people drop in money. Thank goodness they did. Sometimes they didn't.
That's a plus.
But this particular one, let me get it on here. Hold on. Get this. Can you all hear that hi-hat off stage left?
Yeah.
But this is, I used to do this down in the subway. This is a little Jim Croce for everybody. And maybe I may have to call it a night after this one here. But we'll just see here. Uptown got its customs, Bowery got its bones. 42nd Street got Big Jim Walker, school shooting son of a gun. Yay, big and dumb as a man can come, but it's stronger than a country horse. And when the bad folks all get together at night, they all call Big Jim boss, just because. And they say you don't took on Superman's cape, you don't sweat in the wind, you don't fool the mascot that old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Jim. Well, out of house, out down, become a country boy. Hey, I'm looking for a man named Jim. I am a cool shooting boy, my name is Willie McCoy, but down home they call me Slim. Hey, I'm looking for the king of 42nd Street, driving a drop-top Cadillac. And last week he took all my money, and it may sound funny, but I come to give my money back. And everybody say, Jack, don't you know that you don't tug on Superman's cape? You don't spit in the wind, you don't fool the mascot that old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Jim. Well, the hood spilled over the pool room, and Jimmy come popping up and off the street. And when the cutting was done, the only part that wasn't bloody were the soles of the big man's feet. Yeah, he was cut about 100 places, and he was shot in a couple more. And you better believe the song different kind of story when Big Chet hit the floor. Oh, 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 oh. When they say you don't tug on Superman escape, you don't spit into the wind, you don't fool the mask off that old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Tim. You don't fool the mask off that old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Tim. You don't fool the mask off that old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with them.
A little extra bonus there. A little extra bonus.
All right. Yes,
I love it.
Oh man, I'm bummed that
You're the best.
my recordings didn't work out tonight. That's peculiar because
Oh,
I
are you
get,
kidding?
I
You know
know.
that, but it was cool because it gave a variety. People actually heard the pure voice, and to be able to pull that off without even realizing it, it was terrific because people can hear the voice a cappella, and they really enjoyed it. They really
Well, thanks.
did. I know you had it all strategized the other way, but still,
I
it
did.
worked out. And to see your facial reactions when you're like, and we're like, oh, he's doing air guitar and everything, and it was cool. See, if
That's
the
so
band
funny
doesn't
that
show
like
up,
I'm hearing it and everybody's at home like this. Does he know that it's not on?
you're like,
I know everybody's like, I don't think.
and then because there was one, so you have to explain one point, because there was one point or one part where you went like,
because
and we're like,
that was the
okay.
sax solo. That was the sax solo. I'm like, just hang on, everyone, because I thought everyone could hear it. I was like, that's a sax solo. Hold on 1 second, sax solo. So now everybody just has to go. You know what? We have to go to Spotify or Google Play and look up Jrobertspencer's song "Goodbye."
Yes.
So you can hear the whole arrangement. Everyone, please.
Oh, they will. This crowd is very proactive, very proactive, very proactive.
How about I'll do here's the song I'll do. It's called Live It High. It's one of my originals.
Oh,
I
cool.
definitely can do it on this guitar. I will do one more tune if that's
Before
all right.
you do that,
yes.
prolific singer, how much of your time is spent on songwriting, and why do you love songwriting so much too? That's that's a whole other area.
Sometimes it comes to me because I haven't done it in so long and I have all this stuff flooding that needs to get out. And sometimes I just pick up the guitar and I just start plucking, and then if I like something, I never think of lyrics. It's generally a melody first. With this particular song here, let me just get the tune wrong. Just una momento, everybody. This particular song, I knew what the chorus was going to be. I knew what I wanted the chorus to be lyrically and melodically. I just had to find it on the guitar. So a lot of times when I write songs, portions of the song comes to me before the other. Like generally, I get the chorus hook before anything. And once I have the chorus hook, and if I like it, then I build around it basically. Everybody has their own style, and
yeah.
And I know the songs over the years I've written that have been horrible.
Right,
songs I've written that have been good, and songs that have been better than others. But I felt these last ones that are available actually are some of the best I've written in the last couple of years. And this one's called Live It High. Can everybody hear the guitar? Can you hear it?
Yeah, sounds
Okay,
good.
The storm is breaking, and I'm kicking off the dust. The sun starts baking, kissing the sky blue up. Oh, I know we've seen the worst of our days gone by. I know, oh, I know we've seen the worst of our days. Oh, I know. So live it right, live it wrong, live it free, live it strong, live it high. Live it hard, live it loose, live it easy, live it soon, live it happy, live it sad, live it broken, live it madly, live it high. Live at peace, live in love, live it all of the above, live it high. The grass is greener everywhere I turn. And the changing colors, watch the leaves all getting burned. Oh, I know we've seen the worst of our days go by. I know. Oh, I know we've seen the worst of our days. Oh, I know. So live it right, live it wrong, live it free, live it strong, live it high. Live it hard, live it loose, live it easy, live it soon, live it high. Live it happy, live it sad, live it broken, live it madly, live it high. Live at peace, live in love, live it all of the above, live it high. Oh, live it high. 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 And good night, everybody.
Really nice, my friend. That's right. You're the best. Really, I always enjoy when you come on the show and you stop by the Jim Master Show live. You always, we always have such a great time. And thanks, Charlene. She just did a super sticker. We really
Wow.
appreciate that, supporting our show. Charlene Lee is one of our newest JMS Lovities, and she's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for your generosity. And Maureen also did a super chat. She goes, this has been a wonderful conversation filled with great stories, incredible music. Thank you so very much, Bobby, for coming back to Lovity Hall. That's what we call it here. Can't wait till next visit. Oh, yes, we'll definitely keep the porch light on for him. And Maureen, thanks for the generous support of our show. We love that. Linda says, J. Robbie, you have a beautiful voice. And Doreen, good to see you, Doreen, as always.
Hey,
Thank you for this, Bobby and Jim. Thanks for bringing Bobby back to us. Absolutely. Only the best in the Jim Masters Show. Live, great duet. In stereo. That's Jane watching in Sweden, which is really, really nice.
Hey,
thanks for the great.
Wonderful.
It's really cool. Yeah, these great comments. And Marty Thompson is in Nashville. He says she's a great friend of our show and a crooner himself, the Aussie crooner. Love the Jersey Boy. Seen it on Broadway and the touring show in SFC. San Francisco, California. Seen the movie a few times. What did you think of the movie version?
I didn't care for it very much.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people did not as well. So it's not just me.
Yeah. And Jane says, superb show tonight, Jim. What a great entertainer. Absolutely. Love you, Bobby, from Doreen. Kathleen in New York City. Thank you, Bobby, for sharing your life with us. Such a talent. Nikki, thank you. Good night to J. Robert and many, many more. They're piling in here from everybody, all of our lovities, and Christine Clifton.
Hey, Monica.
Entertainment, stories and music.
Hi, Tommy.
Monica and This is awesome. So good stuff. And you know who was here? And again, thanks for all the super chats and super stickers and all the cool stuff. You guys are the best. Mr. George Burns, you may remember he was here last time and he's back. He was waiting for you, Bobby.
Speaking of one of the greatest entertainers of all time,
I tell you, huh?
I mean, come on.
He was the best.
His that show with him and his wife. Good night, Gracie. Whatever
Gracie
that.
Allen. Yeah.
What was the name of their television show? I don't know, but I saw it 2 summers ago, early in the morning. I couldn't sleep, and there was
George Burns and Gracie Allen. Yeah.
Their show was on. I'd never witnessed it before. It was like a theatrical event. It was all live.
Incredibly funny.
It was so funny.
She was so funny in such a dry way. She carried a lot. Yeah. Gracie Allen.
Well, she was so smart too, playing like the dumb. And,
Right,
and
exactly.
George was so smart to let her do what she was so good at. And he was genius in getting the setup to lead to it. So if anyone is out there and wants to explore those TV shows, I'm just saying that I highly recommend it. It will, you will be entertained because it was wholesome. It was a wholesome, different kind of era of writing and performance and a style of shooting a TV show. They were just figuring it out. So that's why everybody go check it out. Yeah.
Decades, Antenna TV, Me TV, Cozy TV, all those networks are amazing. Yeah. So he said you knocked it out of the park. He's got his cigar. He's got his tux with his red hanky. He said you knocked it out of the park, Bobby.
Thank you, Mr. Burns.
He makes his return visit, and one other one that did too, since you were talking about television. Gilligan is with us as well.
Oh, there's another great show I loved. Hold on.
Bob Denver.
I'll do my bobble.
Oh, perfect. There you go. Now, who's that?
Wait, you? Bobby. Wait, come here. Bobby, get back here. Bobby.
Wait. You have one of you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Somebody at one, I wish I could get the glare off it. Somebody at one of our private parties gave us all of these as a present. Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
It's just too bright. But yeah, why is it that everything's backward, Jims? Every time I try, I think it's this way. It's not. It's this way. All right. Hello. Here we go. Oh, hold on.
Gilligan says hello to Bobby.
Hello, Bob Denver. It's wonderful to meet you. I've been. Oops. Wait. Actually, this way. It's this way. Hi, Bob. Big fan. Been watching you all these years, and it's a thrill to meet you. It's a thrill to meet you on the Jim Masters show. What do you think?
Ginger says hello. So does the professor and Marianne.
And the rest. Remember that? And the rest. So there you go.
This came from Bob Denver's wife, Dreama Denver, who's been a guest on our show twice. She sent it. Aloha. Love Dreama Denver. Aloha, Jim. Really cool. You are lots of fun, as always. And Sandy Hicks is here. Miss you, Bobby. Sounds great as always. Welcome, Sandy Hicks, to the Jim Masters Show Live. We love having everybody here.
There's a lovely friend right there. That lady goes back a long time with us.
Love having her here with us.
She's a great person.
She's a big super fan.
Big supporter. And she's a huge, talk about someone who knows something about rock and roll. She knows every 45 probably front and back of any artist in the day of the 60s. Am I wrong, Sandy? I doubt it. But she's been really another great team member for the Midtown Men. She's really been not just started off, as just, a friend. She ended up working alongside of us with a lot of different, performances through the years. So that's
cool. Welcome.
We owe her a lot.
Masters Show. So nice to have her here. Marty in Nashville says, love seeing you in a couple episodes of Law and Order. What was it like on set? I did an episode of that too, because they shoot it at Chelsea Piers in Manhattan. How tell us about it. Yeah, that's cool.
I was fortunate on the one episode where I was a really real bad guy. I had a lot of scenes I had a scene with Ice-T, and I closed the show with Mariska Hargitay and Chris Maloney. And when I read the script, I thought, oh man, if I get this part, I get to button the show. I get to button the show. So I get to the set, and Ice-T, the first day I shoot, he's awesome. We're shooting at Columbia University in this doctor's lab, because I'm a doctor.
You're a doctor.
And Ice-T comes in, he's just totally chill. We shoot the scene. We chill and we sit in the director's chairs, and I'm just talking to him. He's so nice. And I was asking about his older films. We were talking about his, filmology. And then, the next 3 days later, I was on and I had to shoot the scene with Mariska and Chris. And I was in Next to Normal at the time. And I was meeting them. Hello. And I came over and I had my script. And at some point, they were just instantly like, you knew they were just going to be totally cool. And you didn't have to worry about anything. And I walked over with my script. I said, hey, I hate to sound kind of like whatever, but would you guys mind, signing my script? Like, it'd be fun if you just sign it. And they were like, both immediately were like, nope, no, thank you. Nope, we don't do that. We don't do that here. Okay, yeah, fine, give it to me. Like they're just giving such, okay, fine. And then they were, and then she said something like, hey, do you want to see a good looking kid? And she said, look, here's my son. Look at this. And then he goes, no, you want to see a good looking kid? Here's my kid. Here's my kids. And they were like totally like just hamming it up. So now I'm in the scene. I'm behind the table. I'm being interrogated. And we set up the scene. We go over the lines. And as we're setting the lights, she goes, so what do you do? And I'm like, I'm in a new show on Broadway right now called Next to Normal. I've heard about that. I was like, do you want to come see it? She's like, well, can you take us? I was like, yeah. So we're like, okay, we're ready. We're going to shoot. Okay, we're going to shoot. So her and Chris go out the door, and I'm sitting behind the table getting ready for them to come in and start Q&A me. And so they're like, action. And Maloney kicks open the door, and I went, and he goes, cut. What was funny? I mean, he just started laughing like, what exactly is going on? And I said, I'm so sorry. I just can't believe that I'm about to be interrogated by Chris Maloney and Mariska Hargitay. It just kind of, this is my favorite show, you guys. You don't have any idea. This kind of flipped me out. That's all. All right, I'm fine. I'm fine now. And then they went out, and then we did the scene, and then it went very well. And Mariska and her husband came to see our Broadway show the next week, and it was a wonderful experience. Sorry that was a long-winded explanation, Marty, but it's a good story. They're good people.
Answers. Yeah, you fill it in. You don't just give a 2-word answer. You fill it in, which is I like. This is a conversation, not an interview, and so you're filling it in beautifully, my friend. Love it, love it, love it. We call it Lovity here at JMS. Lovity. Well, this is cool. This really has been absolutely fantastic. Like Terry Ann just said, see, she didn't know that you acted, that you've done acting. She just learned it on the Jim Masters Show.
All right.
Live, which I think is so cool.
That is cool. Well, I had a good time. I appreciate I appreciate the time, appreciate the invite.
My pleasure.
Appreciate the chill, appreciate everybody watching from all over. And
my pleasure,
pass it on to other people and explain why I was singing a cappella for 4 minutes and 32 seconds to everyone. Be like, why is he?
Because you're a pro. And
you know what?
If the band doesn't show up, if the band doesn't show up or something, throw him out there. He'll get done. He'll do air guitar.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait to go back and watch this.
If they're running tight on time, he'll go, we're tight on time.
I can't believe this. I'm going to, when I go back and watch this episode, I'm going to like film myself watching it. Just be like, I am such a tool.
But nobody knew a thing. They didn't know. It could have been.
Did you get in trouble? Remember I cussed. I said S-T. Do you get in trouble for that? I hope not.
Wow.
Good.
I mean, if the whole show was that, then
no, it wasn't. No, it's that one time when I realized that no one could hear. I was like, oh,
no, there are some guests where sometimes that's how they normally speak, and we're like, well, YouTube gets a little
okay. Well, good. Okay.
That and copyright are there two things that get very, very tricky. You were
everybody.
I hope the show met whatever. I hope the show met whatever expectations you had. You enjoyed the time with me as much as I have with
I did.
You.
And well, Jim, I remember when you wrote to me, I literally was like, Jim, I don't have anything to talk about. I don't have anything.
Did. I knew you would.
But you were like, no, come on, it'll be fun. Just sing some songs. You got stuff out there. People want to know. They'll go buy your stuff out there. You're singing. You chat stories. And I was like, okay.
When you and I get together, it's fun. That's what they're saying. They're saying you two are funny together. Thanks for having Jim. Thanks for having Jay Robert on your show. So enjoyed this show. Absolutely.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all so much.
That watch time move Bobby does. If anyone gets up to go to the bathroom at Midtown Men's Show.
There's times like if I'm in the middle of a conversation, people have to go to the restroom. You get up. I just have made it a bit over the years. If someone gets up when I'm talking, I'm like, hey, where are you going? This is the best part of the show.
Yeah.
And then they're gone. Everybody laughs. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I have to wait for them to get back. That's all.
You got to wait.
So it's just a shtick. Thanks for bringing it up, Doreen. It's just a shtick. And I've had some people that have responded positively to me pointing out that in front of 900 people that they're leaving. I've had other people get very upset at me. But regardless, it's a good bit. It's a good bit. All right. I have to go. You to bomb
Yes.
too. I got to go
Thank you,
because I have to go
gang.
to the bathroom really bad. It's been 2 hours on the show and I gotta go.
You are the best. Thanks, Bobby. Really awesome.
You, Jim
Continued
Masters, thank
success.
you.
Spread the word about our show. We'll spread the word about everything you're doing, and keep at it. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep the faith, my friend.
Thanks.
And
All
you
right.
are truly welcome back. You're part of the Lovely Squad now, so you're welcome
Thanks.
back anytime, my friend. Okay.
Appreciate it, everybody. Thank you all. Good night. Peace, love, and all of the above.
Absolutely. Thanks, Bobby. You're the best.
You too, man. Thank
Bye
you,
bye
Jim.
now. You're
Bye.
welcome. Charlene Lee says, thanks, guys. Enjoyed the show. Good times. He's going to the powder room now. See, you learn something new all the time on the Jim Master Show Live. Thanks, Merlin. And Doreen says, it's hilarious. Thank you, Doreen. We had a good time last time. If you didn't see the first time he was on the show, that episode is archived on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. All of the episodes are archived on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Veronica Lee, watching in Australia. Good to have you with us once again, Lovity. Veronica Lee, she's one of our regular Lovities. Linda in Florida. LOL. Doreen, double hearts. We love that. We call that double Lovity. Tuto, great show. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Tuto, in New Jersey watching. Love having you here as well, my friend. Jane in Sweden, smiles, 4 thumbs up. Wow, that's awesome. And yes, Tuto, you will see me tomorrow. Absolutely. We got a lot of work cut out for us in Boston on TV shoots, 2 of them. And thanks for those of you also who did the super chat. Again, we want to acknowledge Maureen Wiedepol in Arizona. Thank you very much for your support of our show. Again, during the live shows, you can do super chat, super emoji, super stickers in chat. And you can also, if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you have the opportunity to comment in chat. And sometimes we see your comments and show them. But that's a beautiful sort of yellowish color. And we personally thank you, Maureen, for doing that and supporting what we're doing here. And Charlene Lee, also thank you for your super sticker in support of the Jim Masters Show live series and all the work that we do here as well, which is something else, I tell you. Really, really cool stuff. You're the best. Veronica Lee says, thank you, Jim Masters. My pleasure. And Kathleen Walker as well. Great show. Thank you, Jim. And Maureen says, well, this show just put a huge smile on my face. What an incredible talent, Bobby, and such a great sense of humor. What a load of fun. My aim to please here on our series. We always have a good time. Yes, we'll have him back. Have Bobby back, Jim. Right. He didn't think he had anything really much to talk about. I knew when we got together, he had to talk about, and he sure did. What a lovely show. Thank you, Jim. The pleasure is all mine. We love crafting, creating, booking, directing, producing, and hosting these shows for all of you. And the show we call the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Variety Talk Show Series, where there's over 655, now I think 656 episodes that you can binge watch. If you'd like to see this episode again, or any of the episodes, you can see them again here on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Tell everybody you know about our channel and our show, The Jim Masters Show, on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. We would love that. Don't forget, subscribe to the YouTube channel. That helps us big time. We lovity that. When you do that, you're part of our lovity family. And click the notification bell so you never miss any of our episodes. You'll always be notified. You get special announcements, all kinds of cool stuff. There's no cost to subscribe to our channel. And if you enjoyed this episode, give it a like. Click that like button and leave a comment for us as well. We would absolutely love that. You're the best. We have so many great guests coming up too. It's extraordinary. We have a waiting list of people that want to come on the Jim Masters Show live series, because we don't really call these interview shows. We call it an entertainment lifestyle variety talk show series, matching old school sensibilities with modern fare and vibe. And we go the extra mile here. We have a lot of entertainment, poignant conversations. We bring you guys in. We celebrate life and the joy of living and all these cool things we do. And every show is something different and unique. It isn't a cookie cutter approach. It isn't the same topic, the same genre, the same anything. The format's the same, but what we do with it is what spices it up for all of you, just like the talk shows have done over the years. Everything, something spicy and fun and cool for all of you. We thank our buddy, Bobby, as you know, Jrobertspencer, from Jersey Boys, The Midtown Men, so much more. Actor, singer, musician, film director, for coming back round 2 on the Jim Masters Show live series. Once again, a happy, happy birthday to the incomparable Carol Burnett. I had an opportunity to meet her, chat with her. She is nothing short of fabulous and exactly what you would hope. Warm, funny, approachable, real. Love Carol Burnett. Hey, some folks that are coming up on the show, I want to let you know we've got some really cool guests coming to us from London, England this Sunday, special time, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, and 8 p.m. in London. Olga Thomas, extraordinary, renowned composer Olga Thomas. She's also a royal composer. She composes music for the British royal monarchy, the royal family, for Queen Elizabeth. And she is an incredible composer in her own right, award-winning. She's going to be on our show this Sunday from London, England, talking about the Jubilee anthem that she's a part of that has reached #1 and is in honor of the fabulous Jubilee coming up for Queen Elizabeth. It's really amazing. She's very immersed with the British Monarchist Society, and it's really, really cool stuff. She's here on Sunday. Monday, author and playwright, poet, and screenwriter, David Matthew Barnes. He is a prolific writer, multiple books. He's going to be revealing Love in the Shadows. Yeah, that's going to be really cool. Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. So again, Olga will be with us on Sunday from London, England, 3 p.m. That's an early show, 3 p.m. in the afternoon, gang. 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, 8 p.m. in London, in the UK, Ireland, all through there. And guess what? Coming up on Tuesday, from The Bold and the Beautiful on CBS and so much more. She is an incredible actress. Kasia Palowitz is going to be with us, actress, filmmaker. She's in a lot of great shows. She's got a recurring role on The Bold and Beautiful soap opera, daytime drama on CBS, and lots of other shows. She's in the new movie Alaska, the Plantation Tour, I believe the Taylor Files series in Canada as well. Wonderful actress. She is really, really cool. She's going to be with us on Tuesday. This is an exclusive. This is really, really exciting. We're really very happy about that. Want to let you know as well that legendary trumpet player, trumpeter, jazz trumpeter, Roger Ingram is going to be with us. He's going to be on May 16th. He was going to be with us the other night, but he got called away on a gig for somebody else. So we repositioned him for Monday, May 16th. He has worked with Quincy Jones, Frank Sinatra, Woody Herman, you name it. It's incredible. Legendary jazz trumpeter, May 16th. Hey, did you see the episode with Ava McMahon, who was live from Ireland? She's been in Celtic Woman, Anuna, singer, songwriter extraordinaire. Check that episode out on our YouTube channel. We've had 2 episodes with Damien McGinty, you know, from Celtic Thunder and Glee. He's been with us twice. He's a buddy of mine. I've interviewed him many times on television. Paul Green was with us recently, actor, musician, singer, songwriter, Hallmark Channels, Dr. Carson Shepard, One Calls Art, and all those Christmas movies. Paul, we had an epic conversation of music, inspiring chat, and so much more. He was with us. Cousins Gibb was with us from England. Nick Endicott Gibb found out that his father is Morris Gibb from the Bee Gees, his biological father. In a riveting and revealing and fabulous conversation, Nick was with us. He's in the group Cousins Gibb with his cousin Deborah McLean. She's from Australia. Justin Torkelson was with us from The Bold and the Beautiful. He played Rick Forresters, starring in Studio City with Sean Kanan. This is just the short list, gang, of some of the amazing guests that have been on and are coming on. And again, we thank our buddy Bobby Jrobertspencer for joining us on the Jim Masters Show live. And again, this is just some of the folks that are joining us here on our very special place for all of you, the Jim Masters Show with me, Jim Masters. Good to have you guys with us. Let's check some of the comments, and then we're going to scroll out of here because I've got an extraordinary busy. I got to be up really early 2 television shoots tomorrow in Boston. Yeah, Charlene, you loved when Paul Green was on the show. I know. Love it, love it, love it. Good to see you, Charlene Lee. And Nikki, sweet dreams. Right back to you all. You as well, Nikki and Veronica Lee in Australia. Thank you to all the lovelies. Awesome company as always. Thank you. Christine Clifton says, thanks, Jim, for this entertaining show with Bobby. He's a super talented. He was a joy to learn more about and fun listening to his live music. Another wonderful time together. Good night, all. And I think his a cappella was really fantastic. I know he wanted to have some musical track behind it, but I thought it was really cool, to have that a cappella. He knocked it out of the park. Love the Hearts Rainbow, Veronica Lee. Yes, we saw that too. And you guys are the best. Thanks, everybody, for your time, your attention, for joining us here on the show. We have the best audience out there. We do this like a television series online for all of you. Veronica Lee says, thanks, love is another wonderful company in the comment section. You guys are the best. Terrific. So lots of great shows coming up right here on our YouTube channel. Kathleen, thank you. Thank you, Jim. Have a great night. Good night, all. This is for the live audience. Yes, and our Lovity Cruise gang, we have announced the JMS Lovity Cruise happening in May of 2023 to Bermuda. You can check out details in our Facebook group, the Jim Masters Show Lovity Hall. And we're going to start announcing more of the details on air, but we have already announced the entire spectacular cruise. You've been asking for a JMS Lovity Cruise with all of your friends and some special guests too. And we're working with our travel agency, Quinn Panzer Travel. They've designed with us from Dream Vacations a spectacular cruise next May to beautiful Bermuda. Now, we were talking about going to the Caribbean and Europe and all these other places, and some said, can you do something that's a little bit smaller, a little closer? So Bermuda is absolutely fantastic. We've been there twice, absolutely love it. And it's very reasonable. And if you're able to join us, come along. We're having an amazing time. The JMS official Jim Masters Show Lovity Cruise. For details, again, check out our Facebook page, the Jim Masters Show Lovity Hall on Facebook. We're also going to start mentioning it on the show for all of you as well, for those who watch us as well. So can't wait for the cruise. Marty says, thank you. And we're going to be sailing on the Norwegian Prima, which is a brand new ship. We're going to be one of the first ever on that spectacular, luxurious ship. It's going to be amazing and a lot of surprises. Thank you, Jim, for another fantastic show. J. Robert is wonderful. Great humor and voice. I agree. Sherry and Kansas, thank you as well. Jane says, have him back. We sure will. And thanks to all of you. You can now, if you're new to the show, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Jim Masters TV. That's right. Sherry wants the Chippendales on the cruise. Well, we'll put some calls out and maybe, maybe we'll do that. Or maybe Marty Thompson will be one of our Chippendales, right, Marty? Would you do that? Marty Thompson, you've worked a lot of cruise ships. Charlene, thank you very much. Thanks for a great show. Have a great evening. Tell all your friends, Charlene, you're one of our newest lovities, about the Jim Masters Show. And Tudo says, oh, I'm in. So Tudo's coming on the Lovity Cruise in May to beautiful Bermuda. We're going to be sailing out of New York and Virginia Beach, and it's going to be easy breezy and so nice. Global Lovity as well. That's right. You used to perform on Norwegian Cruise Lines, and their new ship, the Norwegian Prima, is going to be revealed then, and we're going to be some of the first enjoying it. Lots of levity, and we can't wait for that. It's going to be a year from now, so plenty of time, which will be May of next year. So plenty of time. We were going to do it last year. We're going to do it this year, but with everything going on, we wanted to make sure that we did it when everybody can go and when it was, things were calmer. So we're really looking forward to it. We can look forward to that. It's going to be, yes, Charlene. Check out our Facebook page, the Jim Masters Show Lovity Hall, and details. We posted all the details that have been designed by our official travel agency of the Jim Masters Show, which is Quinn Panzer Travel. They are our official travel agency, and they put together a beautiful dream vacation for all of the lovities. And if you're not a lovity, you can still come to check it out. And we'll be announcing it even more on the show. So it took us a while to put it together. We wanted to put together something really special and nice. We didn't just want to slap something together. And we are off to beautiful Bermuda. Thank you, Charlene Lee. You guys have a great night. Thanks for joining us. We still have to eat dinner, and it's 9:00 at night. It's 9:14. Haven't eaten dinner yet, so we got to eat dinner, then put scripts together, pack. We got a lot of stuff to do, and we're headed to Boston for 2 television shoots tomorrow. So we love you all. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for the passion, the enthusiasm, the smiles, the commentary, the support of our show. Thanks to those who did the super chat, super stickers. We encourage you, if after the show you want to do that to support our show, you can do super thanks. There's a little heart icon underneath every episode on our YouTube channel. And if you click the heart, you're able to support our series even when the show is not live. That you can do 24/7, 365 on our YouTube channel. Just click that heart icon and you can support our series and everything we've been doing since April of 2020. 2 years thus far of incredible shows, constantly, nonstop, sometimes 2 shows a day as well. It's amazing. It is amazing. It is amazing. And we love it. Gang, all right. So that's a wrap for now. Once again, we thank Jrobertspencer for being here with us. We thank all of you for being here as well. Marty says, Jim Masters, we got married on the same cruise. And the 8th, it'll be your 12-year anniversary at the time of our JMS Liberty cruise to Bermuda. That's going to be awesome. It'll be a great excuse to double up the celebrations. That's what you call double lovity, my friend. Absolutely. Congratulations on that. Thanks for watching the Jim Masters Show, gang. Really awesome to have all of you here. We don't say goodbye around here. We just say see you later. Shalom, Avida Zain, hasta la vista, sayonara, cheers, slancha, ciao, and all the rest. Good stuff. Good stuff. Just looking at some comments are still piling in. We'll take a look at them after the show as well. We're going to go eat. For those of you watching live, thanks for being with us on this episode and for your passion for the Jim Masters Show series. We love it, love it, love it. Keep it out there and spread the word. Share the links, share the lovity, help us grow. You guys can help us grow by telling everybody about the show. And we will be back on our next episode. And for those of you who are not watching live, you're watching this Memorex, meaning you're watching it in the archives. Stay right here. You can binge watch almost 660 episodes of our series and go back. And some of you have said, oh, I didn't know they were on the show. And I didn't know that person was on the show. Yeah, scroll back to some of our earlier episodes. You'll see some really cool guests who've come from all around the world and all different, celebrity friends and all kinds of cool stuff. All right, we're going to take off, my friends. Thanks for being with us on the Jim Masters Show. We love you all, and we'll see you again on the next one. Be well. Jim Masters is saying, thanking you for your time this time. Till next time, be well, take care of one another, love one another. We love you all, and thanks for being with us right here on the Jim Masters Show. Cheers.